The image of Queen Elizabeth II is well known. The blue 5-pound notes and the bronze 1-pound coin both feature her visage. Both post boxes and stamps have it. Jackets and condiment jars are adorned with a royal coat of arms. Queen Elizabeth has been the subject of incessant press coverage ever since she passed away this month. She is also one of the wealthiest persons in the world, in addition to being the monarch of the United Kingdom. Though the future of her fortune, amassing $429 million of personal wealth, is less assured, it is already known who will succeed to the throne. She may have a net worth greater than $16.2 billion if all of the crown's assets are included. Understanding how Elizabeth II's fortune will be allocated depends on knowing the distinction between the monarch's own wealth and the crown estate. If you are as curious as I am about how that would go, you jumped on the right video. Today, we will take a closer look at what will happen to the Queen's fortune after her passing. Recently, Queen Elizabeth passed away, leaving behind a massive crown, an unmatched heritage, and a sizable fortune. The fact that the Queen of England was extremely wealthy should go without saying. She also possessed a substantial amount of private fortune, so I would have assumed that all of that was royal wealth. In addition to the extraordinary wealth the royal had access to, Queen Elizabeth had a number of sources of income that brought in a respectable sum of money. At the time of her death, she was reportedly worth approximately in the neighborhood of $500 million. Trusts, investments, and land, particularly the Duchy of Lancasters, contributed significantly to this fortune. When her mother passed away in 2002, she later received a significant inheritance. She now holds the Guinness World Record for being the world's richest queen thanks to all of this. Being English royalty is no joke, at least in terms of her royal possessions. Take a look at Buckingham Palace, for instance. The fact that it is the most recognizable royal residence in the entire globe is reflected in its value. It is alone worth $4.9 billion. To see it and take a selfie with it, people continue to trek from all over the world. By this point, it has at least 20 times repaid for itself. Several works from the renowned royal collection, one of the world's best art collections, are also housed in the palace. The Queen's Gallery, which rotated items from the collection, display the whole collection. The estimated value is $5 billion. The Balmoral Castle in Scotland is not as well known but is nonetheless quite valuable. It is a sizable estate that is estimated to be worth between $140 million and $150 million. Even while it doesn't draw quite as many visitors, it appears to be far more able to fend off an invasion by a French army from the Middle Ages. The royal jewels come next. More than 23,000 precious diamonds are among the most valuable items in the nation. The ceremonial items used to represent the monarch's authority are the coronation regalia. Then there are the crowns, such as the St. Edward's crown, which is only worn during the actual crowning. The imperial state crown, composed of gold and studded with 2,868 diamonds, 17 sapphires, 11 emeralds, 269 pearls, and 4 rubies, is another example. The total estimated value of this collection is above $3 billion, yet its true worth is inestimable. They have 2 Bentleys and 3 Rolls-Royces in their fleet of official vehicles, which they use to transport the family. They aren't the flashiest royal family in the world either, so it's not exactly the flashiest automobile collection I've ever seen. No one should be surprised by who will receive her riches. Her whole fortune will be assumed by her eldest son. Prince Charles's worth before the death of his mother was reportedly $100 million. This was provided by the Duchy of Cornwall, a real estate trust. It was created with an annual income of between $20 million and $30 million to support the Prince of Wales and his family. He will receive her estimated $500 million in full and won't have to pay any taxes on it because monarchs in England are exempt from both formal declarations of wealth and taxation. He would also inherit her entire fortune. With the promotion to his new position, his net worth has increased to $600 million. However, there is one thing about which people are far more curious than the transmission of her enormous money, which is of course her royal status. Elizabeth II ruled England as monarch for a total of 214 days and 70 years. She was not just the longest-serving monarch in England, having ruled since she was 25 years old, but also the longest-serving monarch ever. Her oldest son Charles will henceforth be referred to as King Charles III, leaving behind an amazing legacy that will fall on the same shoulders as all of her own wealth. While it is obviously presented more like he will manage the fortune on behalf of Great Britain, he will seriously benefit from the kingdom's $25 billion worth. He will also inherit through title the immense wealth of the crown. Although there have long been speculations that Charles wouldn't receive the crown at all, it also generates an estimated $20 million in profit each year. There has never been much affection for the old prince, which is the difficulty with the current King Charles. He has always performed his royal duties in an odd manner. Then there was his disastrous union with the enormously well-liked Princess Diana and the ensuing divorce. Most people never got over it and kind of hoped that William, his son, would succeed his father as king. This might have actually occurred because of a law called the Act of Succession 1701, which would have permitted a vote to alter succession in the manner of the House of the Dragon. Although this dream was dashed, it is still possible that we shall meet King William soon, considering that King Charles is 73 years old and might likely retire after only a few years in office. His immensely well-liked son would certainly succeed him as king. There is one thing about the royal family that is undeniably true, but Harry was never going to be the chosen one. Prince Harry's marriage to Meghan Markle and subsequent decision to permanently leave the royal family has become the most well-known royal drama since Princess Diana. Some people appear to be excited for this outcome. While the majority of people were really saddened by the Queen's departure, there were others who, well, weren't nearly as saddened. For many years, there has been a growing belief that the existence of the British royal family as a whole is somewhat outmoded and that perhaps Queen Elizabeth should be the end of the line. Even if there are a lot of moral questions to think about the monarchy's continued existence, let's simply focus on the numbers themselves. How much does the royal family actually cost the UK annually? Although it's not that straightforward, it was estimated that the family cost taxpayers around $120 million in only 1 year when looking at 2021. The royals are said to contribute significantly to the nation's economy, according to many. The majority of that is allegedly derived from tourism. Every year, they bring in millions of tourists who want to see Buckingham Palace. According to estimates, the crown could potentially bring in billions for the nation. It has been estimated that the amount might reach $28 billion. In the end, what they contribute today is pure spectacle and entertainment value together with a sense of pride in one's country. They resemble the Kardashians professionally if their show had lasted for decades. Since the UK is worth more than $740 billion overall, I would say that no matter what happens to the royal family in the future, we wouldn't have to worry about anything. What do you say about it? Would you agree on how the Queen's wealth will be spent and managed now that she's gone? How should the new heir deal with his mother's fortune? Let us know in the comments. If you find this video insightful, consider hitting the like button and don't miss the thrill of our upcoming contents by getting yourself notified through the notification bell. We have prepared more exciting things for you. This has been Luxury Point. Until then, we'll see you on the next one.